Are we live? Do I have audio? Yeah. Whoop.
Do I have audio?
Oh, what's going on, guys? We are not doing liver. I know I talked about that last week, that we were going to do some deep fried liver or pan fried liver. But it turns out today is National Double Cheeseburger Day. And I was told by our social media overlords here at Walton's that I was doing double cheeseburgers instead of liver. So we're gonna move that one to next week. We're doing this one this week. Should be at least a tastier meal. I might not feel as good after it, because anyone who hasn't had liver before, after you eat it, you do tend to feel awesome. It's got all sorts of micronutrients and macronutrients that you need, and you really do feel a kick, like a little health boost. But it doesn't taste the best in my opinion. We're also gonna try some stuff, a jerky mix, not on a live stream probably, but we're going to do a portion of our next restructured batch of beef jerky is gonna have liver in it. So we're gonna check that out. What's going on, guys? Yeah. That was the worst no call in maybe college football history. The guy getting literally tackled on the touchdown. So that never should happen. We should have won, but whatever. We are 0-2. We're still way better than Kansas State, and it's not even remotely close. You guys are god awful. We at least lost to 2 extremely good teams, but that's not what we're here for. I've got a coupon code for you guys tonight. It is just cheese. The word cheese, and that is 15% off any non-sale item at waltons.com. It's good till 9 p.m. tonight, so keep an eye out for that. I'm a huge blame the ref guys. Like I know that about myself, and I just own that. I will always look to the ref because they have such a big impact on the game. What can you do about it? ND Mike, what's going on, buddy? So I've got just 2 little pieces of chuck roast here, and we are gonna grind them up using our 22 grinder and the 1-shot attachment. So I'm gonna do both grinds in a single pass. We're then gonna use our Better Burger patty mix, which is one of our more basic, traditional patty mixes. I'm using the Walton's 11-pound stuffer, the quick patty maker with the breakfast insert, and we're gonna smash those down. I've got our Camp Chef gridiron going right now. It's already hot, because this should all happen pretty quick. In all honesty, we'll probably be hanging out longer, eating, cooking, and then cleaning up than we are gonna be in processing, because we're just doing 3.5 pounds or so it's gonna go by like that. But yep, Better Burger is awesome stuff. Could ND or Jones, could one of you guys just type cheese for 15% off in the chat? I've already got my gloves on. I don't want to touch that. I will touch this beer though. Got a nice sip there. Funny thing happened this weekend. I was golfing. I always like to bring a 6-pack of 18-ounce Miller Lights with me, and I got to like the 3rd hole, and I was paired up with some random, but he was a super nice kid. So I was like, hey, I've got a beer if you want one. He's like, oh no, come look at this. And he had a little Yeti that had a full case of Bud Lights, and between the 2 of us, we drank all of those beers to the 18 holes. So by the end, I wasn't caring so much about how I was playing, but it was fun. Appreciate that, guys. So yeah, that's good till 9 p.m. tonight. You can use that coupon code on anything that's not on sale. So I'm just cutting this chuck roast up into strips, get them down the grinder. It'll be done in just a couple of minutes. Then we'll reset things up. And I think at the end, if you guys are interested, I used the True Hone back there. That's that machine. Hopefully you guys can see it. That is our knife sharpening system. It is awesome. It's a piece of commercial equipment, so it's not something that's really reasonable for a retail guy to get. But I'll show you guys some different settings on it. I've got a couple of other dull knives over there that we will go ahead and get nice and razor sharp. And it should be cool just to show you a couple of different little easy adjustments that it can do. I used it to sharpen this, and it gets it razor sharp. I love that thing. But we're all done with that knife. And we just gonna move things around a bit here so we get centered on frame a little bit better. Sorry, I'm a little bit ahead, so that's annoying trying to keep up with when to do what. I need to sell my buddy in my number 12 one shot so I can buy the number 22 one shot. Here's the deal, ND Mike. You're gonna gain like 15% speed going from a 12 to a 22 if you have a number 22 grinder. So if that's worth it for you, absolutely go ahead and do it. Here's an advantage to the 12 that the 22 doesn't have. Let me show you. Sorry. And hopefully Austin's not watching because this is probably terrible salesmanship. See that center hole? That is specific to the 22 one shot. The number 12 doesn't have to account for as much torque, so it doesn't have this adjusted auger system. So you can use regular plates for a number 12 grinder with your number 12 one shot. So you can share plates with your regular grinding system and your one shot. With the number 22, you can't. These are plates that only work with the one shot. A regular plate won't work on the 22. So just something to keep in mind. Now, if you're doing a lot of big batches, then I definitely think it is worth it to go ahead and make that upgrade. But if you're doing mostly, 15-pound batches, you're gonna end up saving yourself 2 or 3 minutes because, I mean, the number 12 one shot's quick as all get out as well. Yeah, like I said, probably not the best salesmanship there, but honest. Excuse me, sorry about that. Honesty is probably the best policy. All right, let's get this ground. Just a couple of pounds, so it's gonna go real fast. Faster if I don't start it in reverse. And we're just dropping pieces down here. We don't wanna overload it. So just let it pull it right out of my hands. Watch it, as soon as it's clear, drop the next piece. Drop the next piece, grab a little handful of it, and put it back through. Now, unfortunately, the 22 one shot is excellent at a second grind. It does it very, very fast. The downside to that is we have almost no reason to do that. We almost never need to put it back through. I just discovered it when we were doing hot dogs. Like, good Lord, it goes through that second grind quickly. So, it's kind of unfortunate, but. All right, get all of this out here. Who wants to get their equipment dirty for 15 pounds? Go big or go home. Yeah, a lot of my batches tend to be smaller because I'm testing some stuff out. Oh, I've got. We have a new product. We're not I can't even say it. We might have a cool product for you guys for deer season this year. So it would be an additive. That should be cool, but I'm not supposed to. I'm supposed to stop doing that. Oh, I'm gonna show you something else. A couple of live streams ago, we talked about why shipping on lugs is so expensive. I want to show you guys this because I just ordered a new 50-pound meat lug. And look, this is the box it comes in, right? That's a huge box for something that when it goes on sale is usually $10.99. So they're extremely expensive to ship versus the value of the product. So shipping on them is important because dimensional weight matters more to shipping companies than actual weight. When I say dimensional weight, it's some formula they come up with how big something is. All right, we're just gonna mix in our seasoning. We're gonna throw in just a splash of beer, a little bit more. No reason not to. And we're just gonna start mixing this up. I feel like I say the same thing all the time, but I know we keep getting new people joining this, so I'll just keep saying it. I'm gonna mix this very softly. I'm being really gentle with my hands. Reason being is that I don't want protein extraction here. I just wanna mix in all that seasoning with all that meat, and as soon as I have that, it's gonna go right into that stuffer. Tease. I don't understand tease. Are you calling me a tease? But again, I'm just looking to get the seasoning evenly distributed throughout all the meat. I tend to like chuck roast the best for making any type of hamburger or really just loose burger. We touched on this either last live stream or a couple ones ago. A lot of the times when you buy stuff that's pre-ground at the store, especially if it's in those tubes, you tend to get something a little bit inferior. And the reason for that is it's not just that it's trimmings, because trimmings can make excellent all sorts of meat products, especially sausage if it's pork. But they use a process called hot boning, and that hot boning can denature your proteins. And once that starts happening, it gets really hard to work with the meat to make another product because they've already started to break down. So just something to keep in mind. If you want the best burger you can get, either buy the stuff that's in the foam tray with just a little bit of plastic over the top that they clearly ground there, or better yet, get yourself your own hunk of meat and do your own grinding. Downside to that is, I mean, meat is just expensive right now. I bought these and two other chuck roasts about the same size, and my total bill was like 80 something bucks. It's just crazy. Beef is going absolutely insane, but I'm sure I don't have to tell you guys that. I'm sure you're well aware. All right, let's move some stuff. And this is the 11-pound stuffer. Make sure you guys can see it before, and I don't think you can. Ugh. And I'll do a couple of these and then I'll move the phone around so you guys can get more of a top-down shot of what it looks like. And I've got my suction cup feet on it, so it can rock back and forth without moving. You can do other things. I have for a long time used a wood clamp, but suction cup feet are just better. It's easier to do, it moves less. That's just one less thing to worry about. Downside to that is when you go to pull it up, you got to get something usually to like slide under there to release the suction cup. Yes, it's quick patty maker time, Allie. Quick patty maker. I called you my social media overlords, you and Sarah earlier, so I threw all the blame for me not doing liver on you guys. Okay, so ND Mike, I don't know if you follow like all our social medias, but Allie actually posted that footage. And the funniest thing to me about that, for anyone who's joining us for the first time, I got locked out last Monday. Nobody else was in the building. So I was just like, I had no chance of getting back in. Austin was able to log into something from home and release the magnetic locks. And my excitement at being able to get back in was amazing. I was like, oh, I'm in. I sounded like a little kid on Christmas morning. It was pretty funny. All right, so this is our 11-pound dual speed. This is different than the 7-pound single speed. This has an internal gearbox. So I have two speeds there. That one is only for backing the piston out and getting the piston down to engage with the meat. As soon as we hit any type of resistance, we have to switch to the lower gear. Reason for that is if we try and stuff on the top gear, we have a chance of damaging the gearbox. So it's always got to be on these models. It always has to be on the lower. So I'm just gonna go until it's full, back it off a little bit, and I've got what should be about the perfect size for the beginning of a smash burger. And I'm gonna do, I think I said I was gonna do 8 of these. Yeah, because it's double cheeseburger day. It's not single cheeseburger day. So these have to be doubles. All right, do a couple more and then I'll move this camera around so you guys can get a top-down view of what this looks like. Though again, if you follow our social media, you've seen this because we've been posting this thing everywhere. All right. Try and make sure I can still get in there to operate it. And that glare is right on it. So maybe that's a little bit better. So I'm just gonna, little crank, not even a full crank, it drops right out. Slide it over, next one, full, little tiny crank. And we just go back and forth like this until our canister's empty. Now this is the slider sausage patty insert. So they make good sizes for breakfast sausage or just little sliders. And then what we're gonna do is at the very end, I'm gonna grab our stuffer flusher eggs. Oops, sorry. And we're gonna get as much of the meat out of there as possible. That one got away from me. So up. And then I'll show you these. They are stuffer flusher eggs. They are just soft, malleable. We're gonna put them down in here. And they're gonna form right around all of that. And you see this little neck down here? They'll push down through there and they'll actually push right up against this and we'll get as much of the meat out as we can because why waste beef? Why waste any food? I like to put them towards the back. I think it helps a little bit. So again, I'm using that top gear just to get it down in touch with the product. And then we're just gonna stuff. And we get 1 extra, 2 extra, 3, 4, that one's a little too big. And that'll be probably the last one we get. Yep, you can actually see, hold on, it's about to come through. You're gonna see I'll try and push it all the way down. You can see that orange thing coming out. Just doesn't have the power to get there, but that is our stuffer flusher egg all the way through right there. So it got all of the meat out of there. If you have the dual speed sausage stuffers, those are a great tool. Make sure you're getting all of your meat out, whether it is a snack stick you're doing, whether it's summer sausage, it's just better to get more meat out of the bottom. Let's get this moving. And you can see, oh, got it. Right there is the other one, or one of the other ones. So really does a great job at making sure you get all your meat out of your stuffer. All right, we're gonna go throw some stuff on the grill and start smashing. So I'm gonna bring this out and then I'll be right back for you guys. Oh, I have bacon too. I'm gonna put some bacon on the griddle. I don't know if it's technically National Double Cheeseburger and Bacon Day, but here it is. That's what we're doing, at least. Ugh. Holy moly, that got hot. All right. Whoop. I told you I'd be back for you. I'll be back. All right. Let's get what we can here. Do 8 of them. A little bit apart. Then we're going to throw some bacon on. And anytime I'm using bacon to go on burgers, I do not bother buying expensive bacon. You can see this is thin and fairly cheap. And you've got some separation between your pork or your fat and your lean because they probably pumped it too hard. Their PSI was probably too high. All right. So let's squish these down. God, that handle got hot from being that close, but we're gonna be tough. That one broke. And I've got my griddle on medium heat, just about medium high probably. I coated it with a little bit of beef tallow. Come on. One of the nice things about smash burgers is how quick they cook. It does not take long to cook a smash burger. This one's going to be a little janky in the back here, but we'll piece it together somehow. Don't know how. Well, that one's janky too. I might have smashed them a little too hard. Luckily, I already took the pieces of cheese out of their wrapping, and this is American cheese. That is the best cheese for a cheeseburger, especially a cheap one like this. Austin and I did something on the a podcast the other day where we tried a bunch of different types of cheese. I think actually Havarti ended up being our favorite, but for something like this, American. Grab some buns and a clean cutting board. So we don't want to put anything back on that. All right. Definitely does have some hot spots and some cold spots. Not the end of the world, but does take a little bit of getting used to. All right. That was not good spatula work there, guys. Come on. No vegetables on this. We have a meat eater's delight here. 2 smash burgers, 2 pieces of bacon, not a vegetable in sight. Life is good. That makes me happy. All right, let's put this jank one on top. Get 2 pieces of bacon here. Woo, that's hot. Yoink. Woo. And we're done cooking. And we're gonna do the exact same thing and burn ourselves with bacon grease again. That was fun. You would think eventually I'd start learning from my mistakes, but I don't. God, that didn't feel good. Only thing I wish I'd put on this that I didn't, I like a fried egg on a smash burger. But I will defend my decision not to put any type of vegetable on it to the death. No reason for vegetables on hamburgers as far as I'm concerned. You guys might feel differently. And maturing is realizing that sometimes you guys are wrong and I'm right. Doo-doo-doo. All right. Now I was gonna eat only one of those, but I'm pretty sure that's not happening. I'm fairly sure 2 of those are getting devoured. All right, not that one. Don't look at the ugliest one. That's ridiculous. Why is the ugliest one the front and center? Let's look at this beauty. Oh. Burgers cooked on the griddle just taste better. I don't remember who I was arguing about that with the other day, but there's just a little something extra you get on a griddle that's better than a regular grill. This is exactly what I wanted tonight. All right, let me see what's going on with chat. Oh, they passed the taste test for sure. Yes, fried egg, should have done that. Well, oh. So, super easy. What? From start to finish, we're trying to see how much time. We're 28 minutes for homemade. You know exactly where everything's been. You know exactly what you put into it. Delicious. Very hot still. Delicious family meal. One your kids will love and you'll love. And if you want to force them to eat vegetables, that's a good way to do that too. Sneak a little lettuce, tomato, and onion in them there. Caramelized onions would have been good on this also. I shouldn't lie. Beef is insane. I've eaten less beef this year than probably any year since I started working at Walton's. Maybe any year ever. This is the first year I've multiple times gone to the store to get a steak and turned around and left without a steak because the prices are just insane. Or at least a price for the quality of what you get It's just not worth it anymore. So, more pork, more chicken, more carbs too. This design will become available. We will eventually have something on the website where you can go pick your shirt, pick your color, your design. This will be one of the ones that's available, and order it. And it gets printed then, instead of us having to try and stock, 100 different sizes and colors and everything. There'll be more choices. So different sizes, different colors, different designs. This is my favorite design. I love this design. I think Allie made it, and then Pat, our graphics guy, kind of perfected it, and it's absolutely awesome. Yep, brisket's another, obviously it's beef. That's another cut that's just getting stupid. I backed up the video to see the patty maker. Is that contraption? That contraption is beefy. Yep. It's a great way to make even size patties. I think that's the best feature of it. Is they're all the same thickness, same size. So they're going to cook just about perfectly together. So if you're doing large batches, it'll save you a lot of time when you're making them, and when you're grilling them. No, one is 140 degrees inside while the other is 180. They'll all cook evenly. So that's an awesome, awesome thing about the quick patty maker, excuse me, that I love. Oop, what did I do? Anyone have any questions about patty makers, other things at Walton's? I mean, we were done with that really, really fast. So I've got to do cleanup, but I also don't really have any. I don't even know if I'm going to watch. Who's the first game tonight? Oh, it's Texans and Bucks, isn't it? That'll be a good game. That game last night, though, was unwatchable. That was terrible. CH says, I like to get, I need a bigger screen in here for chats. I like to get cuts of meat and make ground meat. The patty press makes everything consistent. Very nice. Yep. For a long time, I would just buy ground beef at the store, and in my mind, I'm like, well, they've already done the work for me. Why would I do it again? And then we had somebody work here for 4 or 5 years, who used to run a processing plant. And that's when he told me about hot boning, because we had trouble getting protein extraction when we were trying to make an all beef hot dog one time. And he's like, you're always going to struggle with that. He explained it, and I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. And now I grind way more of my beef myself. ND Mike, I actually watched my first whole Vikings game since the George Floyd stuff. That game was terrible, man. It was absolutely terrible. Spire, excellent work as usual. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's making hamburgers and grilling. This isn't, no rocket science here. Next week, when we will do the liver, I promise. I didn't just chicken out because of all the stuff that was posted on Meatgistics, I promise. And I am going to stick to basically the same plan. We're going to coat it in chicken on the run with a little bit of sweet and sassy garlic pepper mixed in. And then we're going to fry it in some beef tallow. So taste-wise, I'm hoping it's really good. I'm not classically a large fan of liver. I'll eat it from time to time, but it's not something I seek out. We also talked about maybe making liverwurst, but I feel like it's the type of thing we're going to make. We'll eat it for the video, and then it's going to go in a freezer somewhere and never get touched again. So I don't want to do that. Oh, yeah, Adrian Peterson, I don't know. In my mind, it's him, Barry, and a few others. I really like LaDainian Tomlinson as well, but I loved watching AP run, even in college. I thought he should have won the Heisman as a freshman. He's just trucking dudes. Loved it. Yeah, that bacon could be cooked better. I'm grabbing another beer. I'll be right back. Burgers without beer just doesn't seem right. Do you guys want to see the different settings and how I would do a butcher's knife versus a boning knife on the True Home? If that's interesting to you, awesome. If it's not, I won't bother. Like I said, that is way more of a commercial piece of equipment than a retail piece of equipment. So if that's not something you guys care about, won't show it. Yep, he was an angry runner. Oh. Yeah, Braunschweiger's good. Texture of it can get a little iffy. Kind of depends on who's making it. When we went to AMP this year, it was in Kansas City. It's the American Association of Meat Packers. They have a cured meats like champion room. So a bunch of processors will either bring or send something in that they've made. And there was a good Braunschweiger there. Something there gave me food poisoning though, so I was not happy about that. I want a damn smash burger now. I haven't eaten yet. Well, I would say don't approach these live streams on an empty stomach. Or do. You're just probably gonna overeat after that, I would imagine. Cannot beat this though. I absolutely love it. Oh, yum. All right, I haven't seen anyone say that they want to see the True Home in action, but I kind of want to show it. So I think I'm going to do it anyways, even though nobody's asking for it. It's a dual grinding wheel knife sharpener. It's something that you would find in a medium to larger size processing plant. And if that looks like something from the 80s, that's because it really hasn't changed since the mid 80s. The only difference I know between this one and the previous one I had that we sold is this American flag's on it now and it wasn't there. So as you can see, it's kind of bulky, but it does an amazing job. It's got 4 spinning wheels down here that are replaceable. And this is the adjustment knob. So when we want to do a boning knife, or well, a boning knife wouldn't do this. If we were doing a fillet knife, we would twist this all the way as far as you can get it clockwise. What that's going to do is it's going to open these wheels up and it's going to let the knife get further down and it's going to make a much thinner blade. If we're doing a butcher's knife or, good Lord, a cleaver, we're going there. We're gonna have a wedge. I don't know if that actually like translates, if you guys are seeing that. I think you are. You're gonna have more of a V shape or more of a wedge shape instead of a sharp V. So this is the setting I would use if I was doing a cleaver. Turn it all the way back. The second turn is usually what I use for a boning knife. So I'm all the way down now. So I won't use that for a boning knife. I'll use that for a boning knife. And then for a kitchen knife, I'll use the 4th setting. So that. Let me see if I have a dull kitchen knife. I think I do. Nope, that is very sharp. This is not a very good knife though. So this is just a cheap, whatever knife we have. You can see it's not very sharp. In fact, it's extremely dull except for the point. Now this knife isn't supposed to be the sharpest thing in the world, but let's see how sharp we can get it in a reasonable amount of time. So I'm gonna start on this red dot and the speed somewhere around 7 or 8. I'm gonna drag this right through. Because this is so dull, is why I'm doing this long. Normally 3 passes is enough. Then I'm gonna go to the second setting, and this is strengthening the edge. It's a little bit weird trying to do this from the side. This might not be the best job. And then finally, we're gonna hone the edge. We're gonna slow it way down and set that down to the blue. We're just gonna lightly drag it through. Now, hopefully, we should have a much better, yeah. So just cut, well, that one didn't want to do it, but the first one, see if we can do that better. No, all right, back at it. It wanted to do it initially. I'm turning it towards me. Like I said, this is not the nicest knife in the world, but you should still be able to get it nice and sharp. Wax paper also might not be the best choice for that. Jeez. There we go. Much better. So it's got a burr right up near the front that's preventing it from just slicing through evenly there, but better than just the tearing it was doing. Sorry if that was boring, but I love that thing. It's so nice to have really nice sharp knives. We've said it a bunch of times here, but in our opinion at least, dull knives are the cause of most accidents in the kitchen because you're pressing so hard and then your hand slips. Whereas if you have a nice sharp knife, it should go through with whatever you're cooking. I mean, not like butter, but it should just be a nice, smooth, clean, even cut. So. It's variable speed. Longer knives, turn it up higher. Shorter knives, slow it down. Oh. And the variable speed is nice, but the ability to set different bevels is really what sets that apart. Huh. Oop. Every time I try and go back and chat here, CH had an electric knife sharpener, and the sharpener wheel fractured. Ooh. Hopefully it didn't fracture while you were using it. That would be potentially freaky. Well, all right, guys. I mean, that's kind of it. Delicious. Absolutely love these patties. So next week, we're going to do liver, and we'll see how that goes. Enjoy the games tonight. We'll see you next week. All right, I gotta clean that. I hate using cheese on this thing. Still though, taste is amazing. Ooh. But you are a pain in the butt to clean, Griddle. I did not need this second burger. Ooh. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, it's still going. Whoops.